record button. All my audio looks good, not messed up like it was last time. We're
Cool.
good to begin. All right, friends, welcome back to Tomb of Annihilation. It has been a week. When last we saw our heroes, the party had finally decided, after a long rest, to venture to what they believed to be the final chamber of the third floor of the tomb. You entered in the many stone eyes that you've collected on this layer, all of a vast array of different colors. And as you entered them in, you noticed that the mirror on the wall was actually changing your appearance. So you decided to go about that in a bit of a turnaround way. You had Alexandria's zombie, her skeleton trap, the new trap rather, previous member, a Dragonborn member to the Company of the Yellow Banner, do the task for you. The door lifted up and it revealed a large circular chamber inside, a vault with many of these crevices filled with gold and treasure, each of them hosting a different kind of not exactly a different kind of anything, but coins and treasures abound. You would also notice that the chamber itself was a massive dome, almost 50 feet high ceiling, and a floor so slick that it reflected the ceiling above to almost form what looked to be a full circular chamber. At its center was a draped circular figure hovering above the floor 20 feet. After some investigation in the room, you discovered that underneath that tarp was a perfectly reflective metal ball that seemed to attract metal items on your person. Valfine experiencing this firsthand as most of her gear was taken away as she stripped it from her person and immediately slammed into the sphere. The floor itself, unstable, many of you almost falling down, some of you falling down, having to clamber back up. It's like standing on ice throughout this room. Throughout some experimentation, you were able to give Valfine's stuff back. You were able to find a few unique treasures in these alcoves and went about a few different ways of trying to extract them, but all seeming to fail. Brolin's conjured animals dissipating, the skeleton minion of Alexandria falling apart, being unable to carry across one of these masks that you saw. Mage hand having no effect. All of these things not seeming to work. You came down to a final decision to send someone in. Valfine volunteered, stepped into the chamber and took a single coin from the nearest alcove. And when she did, a booming voice filled the room in a language none of you understand except for Alexandria, who activated the understand languages or comprehend languages spell to at least get a few words out, and you heard its voice echo through.
Fool is the thief who steals from my treasure.
That bursted into the room, and went the moment that happened, beams of brilliant colors and light came crashing down into Valfine, some of them harming her, some of them paralyzing her in her position. Magical beams of enfeeblement shooting down and just barraging your friend, who is in quite a bit of danger. The party just shuffled into the room via magic or through the door or whatever means to come to her rescue, and you are currently in the midst of this very close, this very tight, very tense situation. And we're going to pick up there where we left off in the combat round. And I will change our music over to the battle music for this. There we go. Okay. Get it to a proper volume. All right. There's a lot of moving pieces here for me, so it may take a moment for me to do things. So I apologize, guys, if there's a little bit of a slow pace starting off, but we'll get it done. The first thing that's going to happen, it is the Beholder's turn. The invisible Beholder.
Move us over.
What's up?
Move our screen over.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're on the tight
Like I
screen.
said, lots of moving parts.
Like you see my death coming?
Yes.
Well, you're paralyzed. You might not see it coming.
Well, I can see just fine. I just ain't moving out of the way very fast.
Okay. Everybody able to see the map?
Got it, got it.
Yep,
All right.
Yep.
The top of the round will be the Beholder, and the first thing that's going to happen is, War, I have a question for you. Does your Echo get an attack of opportunity?
I can make attack of opportunities from his space, yes.
Will they trigger from his space, particularly if a enemy moves away from its space, or does it still have to be your space that it's moving away from?
It moves away from its space.
Its space. Okay.
Yeah.
You are fighting an invisible creature, I'll remind you. So these beams have been coming from empty space thus far. And you've been able to get some idea where this thing is. Whifflespark was able to attack before, but you are dealing with an invisible creature, so you are at a disadvantage. But it is not hidden. You can't perceive through your Echo, can you?
Oh, no, I cannot. It has to be a creature that I can see within 5 feet of my Echo, moves at least 5 feet away.
So it does have to be a creature that you can see.
Yeah, it does specify that, so.
In all of opportunity attacks, or just for your Echo in specific?
This is for the Echo specific.
This is for the Echo. Then never mind. I just wanted to know if the flavor. So an opportunity attack would not be possible for a creature you cannot see. Correct?
That is how it reads, correct.
When a creature you can see within 5 feet of your Echo moves at 5 feet with me. Yeah. You do need to see it. So that was my thing. I don't know what the perception of your Echo was. I think that's why that's in place, because you only have your own perception. So the Echo would not be able to react to an invisible creature moving away from it. So let's change position here. All right. At the start of its turn, it is going to do something that is invisible that you guys won't really be able to see. So I have to move a few pieces around. This. Okay. Whifflespark, you feel your connection to the weave return. And Alexandria, you feel your connection to the weave sever.
If that hits the Echo will actually disappear too.
The Echo will fade.
It might not, with how those work.
It's a magic thing.
But it's anti-magic field is for spells in particular.
Yeah, it's not ability.
It specifies in the Echo
Okay.
that it is a magical being.
But things like summons disappear, but not created things.
Yeah, would this be considered a summon? I'll leave that up to Jacob. That's his call.
Yeah, I kind of looked into this a little bit.
So you believe it
I
would
think
fade?
it disappears. Yeah.
Okay. I'll let that. I mean, I'll leave that up to you. You know your character better than me.
Is that going to end the spider climb ability from my?
No.
God. Okay.
I will make the call that I don't think, because with your Echo, that's very character specific. With the Trickster God boons, that's my realm. I will say it doesn't make those fade. All right. It is now going to attack. We will see beams rip from the sky, circling around the room. And the first one is going towards Valfine.
So weirdly, there's one of the beams in particular I kind of hopes hit Valfine, even though it would be a terrible one.
I am rolling these hidden.
Because it will save her life.
I'm not the beams themselves. I'm rolling out the open, but the roll for a beam is going to be for me.
I was just thinking out loud, thinking through the holders.
Okay. 1 second. You are still paralyzed, correct, Valfine? I can't hear you.
I am paralyzed.
You will
I have
fail.
not made my save.
Oh wait, what'd you say?
I have not made my save.
You have
so
not made
far
your
to
save.
get out of it. Mm-hmm.
All right. You will automatically fail because you are paralyzed. Because you are what's paralyzed do? It makes you in. What's the word?
Incapacitated.
Incapacitated. So you would automatically fail a dexterity saving throw. You have the. Well, let's just click it. Oh, it doesn't immediately go. It's still. Oh, it's 2GM. I'll make it to public. Just so we know what we're dealing with. I'll make sure this is
I
public.
have evasion, so even if
You
I
do.
fail the saving throw, it does cut it in half.
I rolled a 10. It's the death ray. So, would you... It's a currently, just taking the average damage would kill you. So I can roll it.
I'd say go for a roll, if that gives us a chance.
Okay.
It still gets cut in half, because it is a...
It will get cut in half. Alright, here we go. I do want to just ask, Ward, do you have a... Does anybody have any reactionary abilities to reduce damage?
I'll look in real quick.
Before we go through this, I want to make sure we do it right. Is there anything anybody has that they could be missing?
Unless this counts as a spell. Oh no, I can't do spells right now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I have to be raging in order to use my spirit shield, and I hadn't gotten a rage off yet.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything I can do either, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Valfine, you will suffer 31 points of damage. You will hit 0,
I'm dead.
and you will die. We see the beam rip out of the sky, blood red, and it strikes you, Valfine. And when it does, we see in that moment because this is necrotic damage, we see your flesh go from the full flush of the blood of a living being to a dry gray, and the light will leave your eyes, but
I was really hoping for a petrifying ray.
this is a very rare moment. This is a player death. Valfine, your death is yours to be able to illustrate how you want to in this moment. These are the sort of last fleeting moments of your life on the material plane. So I want to give it over to you to be able to have this moment and be able to illustrate it how you would like. You are technically paralyzed, you are technically frightened, but I don't want those to constrain you being able to do something right now. And I know I've already switched over to the sad music, but I also do want to give you the option, if you want to do this now, or if you want to wait to see the outcome of the fight and come back to this moment. I will leave it completely up to you if you want to do it right now in media res, or wait to see what happens, depending, but I still want to give it over to you to make those decisions and to illustrate this moment, and I will have some illustrations for you as well. But
let's do it after combat.
you want to do it after combat and see what happens? Okay.
Yeah.
If that is what's comfortable, I am perfectly fine with us coming back to this moment cinematically to see what happens. In the moment, I guess it does make sense. We don't slow down. The fight is still going. The battle is still intense. You see Valfine struck. You see her flesh go gray, and the light leave her eyes. Her body drops lifeless to the floor. And as far as any of you can understand, she is dead. Or horribly, horribly wounded in the moment to the point that she's unconscious, but just looking at her from a brief moment, that looked like a death blow. Anybody can see that. So, that's its first ray. The battle will continue. We see another ray strip its way down, going straight towards Whifflespark. Oh my fucking god.
Luckily, Whifflespark has a lot of health.
Yeah, absolutely. Whifflespark, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. Okay.
I will use one of my flashes
To boost it?
Yeah, I'll make that a 19.
A 19? Okay. You want me to roll or average? Or do you just want me to make the call on that?
Just make a call. It's fine.
I'm just gonna roll. Alright, so that will be halved. So 25 for the 50, and then there'd be 4 left over, so 29 points of damage, Whifflespark, of necrotic damage, as that same red beam streaks down and blasts into you, the one that just slew your friend Valfine. Okay. There's one more beam, and then I have something else to note. This one streaks down and goes directly towards Brolin. Okay. Brolin, make a dexterity saving throw as a gray ray streaks down towards you.
Another one. Oh no. Do I roll inspiration? No.
Probably want to.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because you're the one who can fix that problem in our group.
It's true. Yeah, I'll roll inspiration.
Okay, let me steal your inspiration from you.
Dexterity saving throw?
Yes, with advantage.
Does that spray do half damage?
Hmm?
The,
It is a dexterity saving throw or take... You're right. No damage. No damage, Whifflespark. Thank you for noting that. 18 is enough to save. So this gray beam will hit you. So yeah, it is... nothing should happen. It says on a... So yeah, it just says on a failed save, you will start to turn to stone and be restrained. Repeating a saving throw on success, the effect ends. On a failure, the creature is petrified until... Yeah. So this gray beam hits you, Brolin. You feel this sort of immediate effect of, like, your joints seizing up and, like, your feet getting stuck to the ground, but you shake it off.
Yeah, Brolin's bright red. He's angry. I imagine the magic on his tattoos just bounce it off.
Okay. Yeah. You resist the effect. The magic of your tattoos protecting you. that is the end of its turn. And the thing I wanted to note, I just wanted to get its turn done. At any point, you guys can choose as a team to tap in Victor. He will take up XP, but it does need to be a full party group, and Josh will be taking over that for me if you're comfortable with that, Josh, mechanically. And that's how that has to be a thing from the group, and we'll just roll him into initiative. At any point, you guys can make that vote. Just know he will be taking XP.
I vote yes. I'm a big yes proponent now.
Brolin, it is your turn.
Brolin gently puts down Valfine. I imagine he's holding her.
Yeah.
Healing her.
Yep.
He
She
puts her down.
she dies in your arms effectively.
He gently lays her down. Can I see how high up this thing is?
You cannot see it. It is up there. You know,
Do
the
I have
ceiling's only 50
No
feet
more than
up.
50 feet.
No more than 50 feet.
No more than 50.
The token itself, like, has a 0 on it, so we as players know. But you cannot see this creature. It is up at the ceiling somewhere, high up above you.
Okay.
So you perceive that how you want. It is shooting those beams, so you know it's at the top of the ceiling.
So 50 feet up high.
At least somewhere up there, yeah.
At least 50. Can I
Well,
can I be a scrub? Can I be a player scrub for a minute and
What's
rule how high can a beholder stay in the air?
How high can a whole beholder stay in the
has
air? It
perfect
has
flight. It can
Yeah,
fly
it has
however it
perfect
wants.
flight. It can fly however it wants. If you're wondering about the distance between you and the beholder, is that what you're wondering, like the true distance?
Yeah.
So it is a 50-foot room, so we have 10 squares. 10 squares up is the best way for us to think of it. You occupy one of those squares. It occupies 2 of those squares. That's a total of 3, so we can say there's 7 squares distance between you, plus 1 if you're trying to attack, because you need to go into its space or you into your kind of thing, you know what I'm talking about? So it's an 8 square distance, which is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 feet for any targeted spell of a range.
Good thing to put into account too is because of how the distance things work in D&D, it can never really be more than 60 feet away from anyone.
Exactly.
Well, no, I'm just saying for the purpose of melee. So you're saying this thing has a hover of 50 feet.
It's higher up than you would be able to reach with any
The way that hover works, so it says it has a hover of 10 feet, but that doesn't mean it floats at 10 feet, Dustin. That means it can do 10 feet every 6 seconds. Kind of thing.
Okay.
If it had 10 feet or 20 or 30 or whatever, it would only go that distance.
Okay. So if I was a huge beast, I could not make a melee attack on this thing. If I did a running jump.
No, it completely matters on the strength of the creature for your distance. So with a running jump, the most you're going to be able to get out of a jump, unless your strength is ridiculous.
What if my strength is 25?
If your strength is 25, your bonus then would be 5, so 6, 7. You're still going to be rounding up to about 10 feet in a jump, no matter how you look at it.
Even with my reach would be...
Even with your reach being an extra 10 feet, you're 15 feet, your jump would be 10 feet. Because if you're a huge creature, you're talking about being a huge creature or a large creature?
Yeah,
huge creature is a 15-foot square, so you have 3 squares, and then you would have 2 more squares for a jump and 2 more squares for a reach. So you're at 15, 25, 35. You're a 5-foot, actually a little bit more than a 5-foot square, just about away from a melee attack. So no, there is.
What if I do a running jump?
The running jump is the same. That's the highest modifier you can do. The standing jump is half of the running jump. So you would any kind of standard jump, you'd still be at about 10 feet, which is incredibly large. I will remind you that about 13 to 14 feet is like a story, like a literal building story. So it is still an incredible feat of jumping that you're dealing with, but
there's just literally nothing.
It is extremely high up. Yeah.
Yeah, spells.
I have no spells that would be able to do anything to this
Do
thing.
you have Fairy Fire?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have, something that can entangle it, or something that can
Hmm.
make it not fly?
Brolin has
Uh,
ranged attack spells. You've used a burning spell before. You've used a few things.
Cantrip spell
It's
would
up to
work?
you if you think Brolin would use any of these, or if Brolin believes that the situation is for naught, maybe he wouldn't do anything. That's up to
Well,
you.
I do technically have Fairy Fire, but I feel it would be metagaming to
To
say
use-
that I have it.
To use it on a invisible
Invisible
creature.
To say you have it, don't you have it?
I can technically change my spells out of every session.
Do you have it prepared right now?
I mean, I'd say that's up to the DM to decide.
That's up to your sheet to decide and how you are going to rule that. Like, is it on your sheet prepared? And that's up to
not-
that. Like, honestly, that's like I said, I'm not lording over your guys' sheets anymore. I used to do that. I can't do that anymore. So it's really up to you guys how you dictate that. So if it is, it is. If it isn't, I'm not gonna question it over here. So it's how you want to play the game. 100%
Yeah,
your call.
I'm not gonna say that that's
Okay. You do still have spells on that list. You're a 9th level character. I will encourage that there is always something that you can do.
I'm sure you have some sort of attack spell or something, even if it's just a cantrip. Cantrips
Yeah.
hit hard.
Even if it's not that and you want to get to this thing, you can try to climb. You could try to improvise the situation. If you feel like you're in danger, you could run out of the room temporarily. It's really up to you. But at the beginning of your turn, regardless, I do need you to make a dexterity save to not fall prone because of the slippery floor. Okay, yeah, you keep your footing. Yeah, you start your turn on your feet, and it's up to you what you want to do with your turn, Brolin. If you want to delay your turn, you can do that as well. I'm fine with it.
trying to figure out. Let me see. Gios. That probably takes too long to cast.
It's a minute cast for Gios.
Yeah. I could make him reveal himself. Potentially.
If you can survive 10 rounds of eye beams.
I can't survive 1 round of eye beams.
I think we should probably bring in Victor. It would make sense.
We should probably. I mean, it would make sense that he would be very upset.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think Victor would make sense to bring in because he is angry.
All right. That sounds like a full group agreement. After Brolin's turn, we will roll Victor in.
Could locate creature. God, why didn't I didn't think I'd have fairy fire.
I'll give you about another minute before you might want to delay your turn or something.
Oh yeah, fuck it. I'm entangle him.
Okay. You got the range and everything?
It's a 90 feet.
That's awesome. Perfect. Let's have you do that. So you immediately reach up to the sky.
Yeah, he's show yourself.
Okay.
And I imagine vines break violently through the upper concrete of the dome
I like it.
and entangle this guy.
And that is going to be a what is it? It's a 4 square.
Let me look
Foursquare?
at the spell.
Yeah, like
Entangle.
a
20 foot by 20,
20,
foot.
20 foot.
cube.
So it's a 20-foot cube. Perfect. Let me mark up
Oh,
the
20 foot square.
20-foot square. So just a square, not a cube. So just like a single. How's that work?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a cube. That's how it makes more
Yeah.
sense to me in the sky.
In this situation, it makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get like a dark green here for that and illustrate it on the board. So like right here, just right on top of it.
Yeah.
Yep. You rip that up. Can you just like throw the spell? Or just let me know what what the save is that I'm making, or what's the?
It's a
That's
15. It's a 15
Yeah.
DC spell save.
15. So yep. For the duration, it is a strength. Yep. I just want to know it will be restrained. The plants can use its action to make a strength. Oh, okay. So holding it in one place. Restrained is good. Strength saving throw. Okay. 18. It rips up, and you see the vines fill the top of the dome, and you can almost sort of just like hear this thing like shift out of the way. I don't even know if it's shift out of the way. We see them, it's strength, so there's a bunch of vines around it, and they immediately burst after wrapping their way around. They aren't able to hold in the vastness of this creature. That area is still considered difficult terrain, correct? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that entire area is still difficult terrain. So I'll say it's from the ceiling down. So he's got a good chunk of difficult terrain. So that is your action, Brolin. You still have a movement and a possible bonus action if you have any bonus actions.
I'm going to I can't bonus action cantrip.
Yeah, no. There's no bonus action cantrips that exist.
No, there's no reason to move.
All right, staying right there. No bonus action. Then
I guess I could try to move. Brolin's gonna try to move. Now that he at least knows the general gist of where it is, he's gonna move closer
Under
to
it.
it.
Okay, yeah. You
Directly
move.
under it's not a bad idea. It'll be hard to get hit by an I-beam that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna be directly
Like a big beam.
directly below it. Okay. And that is the end of Brolin's turn. I need to just do something really quick to give Joshua access. You are cool playing Ilian in this moment still?
Yeah, it's good for me.
Okay. I'm going to hand you his info. I just have to load it up here. It's taking just a second. I don't know why it's loading. Probably because there's 5 people in here. There it goes. Let's get this in your journal. Okay, it's going to be in your folder. And it is going to be a character sheet here in just a second. Give it just a moment. Okay.
I have it open.
Okay, cool. Let me close it. It's loading on me again because it's being very slow. It's an extra that wasn't preloaded. Going to drag him onto the field. You may place him where you think he is in the moment because in sort of story he was in this fight. Just he wasn't here mechanically. So wherever you want him to be at the start of his turn, he can be. And then I would like you to roll initiative after you've placed him appropriately.
Just gonna step out the door.
Okay.
That's when he sees everything.
Give him an initiative roll.
13.
Okay.
I haven't highlighted. It looks like I put him in. Just gotta resort.
Let me place this here, and let me just delete some of the Valfine markers. Okay. All right. Go ahead and just survey that sheet. I'll give you a little bit extra time on your turn if you need it to understand how everything works. I do know a little bit, so I might be able to help you out with him. He has some features. Brolin, that's the end of your turn. Whiffle Spark, it's the beginning of yours.
Whiffle Spark, on the other hand, does have Fairy Fire prepared.
Yep.
And it's casting that.
Are these all?
Okay.
Are these all the spell slots? Are these all up to date, Ed? It says he has 0 available.
That is 0 to count up. You can set that up however you want. If you want to fill them and count down, that's fine. But it's counting up. Nothing is spent from him. Fairy Fire. So yeah, we see that sort of blast. What does your Fairy Fire look like, Level Spark? Is it just like I know you're all like mechanical stuff. Do you like throw a grenade up there or something?
Oh, it's a glitter bomb.
It's a glitter bomb, yeah. Yeah, we'll have to make a dexterity saving throw or be outlined by fairy fire.
And then
Does it have a disadvantage in dexterity throws in difficult terrain?
No, the difficult terrain will only impede movement. Restriction, or the restrain would have probably done more.
The restrain would have gave him disadvantage.
Yeah, but he is not restrained. So he'll make a dexterity save against the fairy fire. An 18. He will resist. You blast it up there, but it doesn't stick. It is either moving out of the way of it, or it is some sort of resistance or something in the moment.
I am going to walk past him, though.
Okay, the first things first is make a dexterity save the minute you step out there.
Yep.
Did Victor?
We'll say he just... I was saying you could start where you were going to start. At the beginning of your turn, you're going to be making one. You would fall prone in Victor's spot. You can use 15 feet of movement to step back up. So you've gone 5 feet. You would do 15 feet to step back up if you wanted, or you can stay prone and crawl at difficult terrain.
I'm gonna do the stand up and move 10.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna go.
You can stand up and move 10.
Go to where Valphine was.
Okay, yep. Step over to where Valphine is. That was your action movement. Where? Yeah. So Fenrir is in the hall. Yeah, if you want to grab him.
I was just moving him to where I could see him.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
And then he is going to.
Yeah, Fenrir's turn. You're moving on to Fenrir.
Yep, and he's gonna move.
He'll need to make a dex save as well.
Yeah. He is good at that, apparently. No, he's not.
Let's see. So he's already spent 5 movement. He'll have to spend 15 movement to be in Victor's space.
Okay, and then he has a total of 40. So he'll stand up and just move 1 to the side of Victor.
Okay.
So that will be how much he has left.
Okay. Sounds good.
Just trying to spread us out.
And that is the end of your Fenrir's turn?
Yeah.
Alexandria, it is your turn.
Well, he makes the help action on, since he's right there, he's use help action on Victor.
On Victor. Victor will have advantage on any kind of, like next attack kind of thing. And we'll illustrate how he's helping when we get to it, but help action makes sense. Alexandria, it is your turn. You know that you are not connected to the weave right now. And you do need to start your turn with a dexterity saving throw.
Boop-a-doop.
Okay, you keep your footing.
Okay. There was somebody else who couldn't feel the weave, or is it just me?
Just you.
Okay,
War.
cool.
War's Echo Pop too. Yeah.
Oh, War's Echo Pop too. Yeah, that was something you saw.
I'll go that way.
Yeah, that's the plan. 5, 10, 15,
Do magic items work in that?
20.
They become non-magical items.
You do feel the weave connect back to you.
Okay. Then... most of my spells are that you can see.
Mine too.
So, I think what we're going to do...
You can always do things like AoE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or dex saves.
Unfortunately,
Or saves.
Brolin is not
Brolin is 50
ideally
feet from
placed.
the ceiling.
Yeah, it's up at the ceiling. You're not gonna
Yeah.
hurt Brolin.
He's under.
Okay, so we can say that me aiming my cornal attacks
Goes
above
up. Goes up. Yep.
will- Cool.
It would go out and spread in like a square. 50 feet.
So she's really upset
Okay.
because somebody she cared about just died. So she is going to recklessly dip into the deepest circle she has access to and cast Cone of Cold
Ooh, shit.
Going cold. Yeah, do it. Do it.
Yeah, just-
Brolin's on full murder. Like,
And
let's
a
do it.
a purely cosmetic thing, Wiffle Spark checks on Valfine.
Okay. Yeah. You put a hand on her shoulder kind of thing, and yeah, we'll get back to that. Absolutely. Yeah, Alexandra, you are pulling all your power from the weave to release this massive spell. I'd like you to roll and describe to me, because I think this does damage regardless of even on a save, at least half. But if you want to describe to me what that looks like, I'm into it.
Yeah. So she'll run across the room desperately in her head, trying to reach out for the weave. And then when she finally feels it, she slides to a stop, catching herself on the wall. And with her free hand and her eye full of searing hatred, she pulls out her hand towards where she thinks this thing is, clenches the weave with her fist and pulls it back. And as she pulls her hand back, you see a tiny circle around her wrist, and then a second and a third as she twists it until 8 full rings rotate around her forearm. And then she throws her shoulder forward, releasing her grip, and a cone of icy black wind across the room.
Beautiful. Give me the roll.
Yeah. Roll 8d8.
Okay. And what kind of save?
It is a Constitution saving throw,
Constitution saving throw. Got it.
which I'm gonna hope this pussy
Hoping this
little
thing
ball
doesn't
of
roll
flesh
another
isn't that
18.
good at.
15.
All right, a 15. Let me double check my spell save DC.
right,
It is
3 yards.
unfortunately 15.
So he just saves. Half would be 18 points of its frost damage.
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, it's frost damage for sure.
All right, yeah, that rips across the ceiling, filling it with that dark ice. And you can see it sort of impact the invisible creature before dissipating. But to what effect, you're unsure. That's your turn.
I'm gonna have my skeleton with my bonus action chuck a javelin at it.
Your skeleton would go after you, right?
I use my bonus action to instruct it to attack.
Oh, you do. Okay, perfect. Chuck a javelin. That works.
Okay.
Disadvantage.
Yes, of
Yep.
course.
Yeah, it still makes it because of the range, but it's like double disadvantage, but they don't stack, so it's just disadvantage. He's got just as much of a chance of, if he could see it, as of it being so far away.
Does javelin still uses dexterity to hit, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It's if anything thrown is dexterity based.
He's plugged into short bow, so I'm just gonna roll the short.
Just go
bow
for
to
it.
hit.
Yep, go for it. Not a big deal.
Whoops! It didn't give me an option for disadvantage, so I'll just roll that twice.
Okay.
And it
It
misses.
soars up and is unable to reach the distance. And your turn is over?
Yep.
At the end of its turn, it's going to spend a legendary action for a beam to rip down in your direction, Alexandria. So let's see what it is. Okay. Like, I don't want to minimize this anymore because it's taking forever to reload.
And what I should have done was cast greater invisibility on
Oh,
that.
just grab a die for your
Huh?
roll on your desk.
No, I'm good. If you're talking to me, Alex.
Yeah, I was just saying if you want a hidden roll that.
Yeah, I know.
Attack.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. As a white ray makes its way down in your direction.
Advantage. Use your inspiration.
Why not? I will use my inspiration.
Good reminders.
Didn't need it.
All right.
Ooh.
You immediately resist the effects, probably like a recoil of your own arcane power in the moment when it tries to immediately just clap back. You strike it out of the way, effectively resisting all effects of that beam. All right. And as the end of your turn, the skeleton went. It goes as a bonus, so it doesn't have its own turn. It just goes as a bonus action in your turn.
Correct.
Okay. I'll just remove it then from here. All right. Ilian, I actually put you in wrong, so we're just going to say you had 10 to initiative to keep it canonical, because I already had Alexandria go here. But it is your turn. You have just seen Valfine perish.
He's gonna linger for several long moments, sort of trying to process it, and then immediately he's gonna look at where he saw the beams come from.
Okay.
And he's going to draw circles in the air. They're all going to be ice blue, and they're going to be 5 of them for a 5th circle. And he's going to shove his fist through the center, and a cone of cold's coming out of that.
All right, a secondary cone blasts up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and, okay, there we go with that. Let's have it make a save.
Way to show me up, fucking Ilian.
With your higher DC.
Right, 17 on this one.
Pretty high, actually.
14 fails.
No.
We see it immediately just crest the top of the ceiling and completely just cover the form of this thing. And
Do it.
as the ice covers over it, and it'll
Can we see it?
no.
Oh, okay.
Cone of Cold does nothing to make invisibility go away. The whole thing of like being, it is not a hidden creature, and so a lot of these are making it not hidden, which is nice, but it still benefits from invisibility. A devastating blow.
And then for 5 feet of his movement, he's going to stumble over toward Valfine and kind of like reach down and kind of cradle her shoulders in his arms, and that's the end of his turn.
All right. The end of his turn, it's going to spend a legendary action and fire a beam at Victor. Okay. I need him to make a wisdom saving throw.
Inspiration.
Yep, I'm spending Valfine's inspiration for this.
Roger.
I cannot drag and drop that anymore, so you can grab that as you please.
All good. Yeah.
1. Okay, didn't even
All
need
right.
it.
You succeed, as we see sort of light, probably almost a fear ray, really like a purple, immediately go to hit Victor, and it just bounces around like it's like a shield almost around it. So I'm able to make contact with him.
I think he's gonna whip. He probably would like whip his head around, and his eyes would go white, and then that shield would just shatter away.
Okay. Ward, is your turn.
War's gonna see Valfine go down, and you'll instantly see those black flames rise above him, and silently he rages and then sprints at the thing up the side of the wall and across.
Gotta mark your token with rage.
Yeah. With 40 feet of movement, can I make it to him?
You are 4 squares up the wall, so you're a total of 20 feet up the wall. It is the The full
it's
10,
domed.
but it's still at the 2 because it's domed. But you can like use space to make your way over at the same time that you're climbing.
Okay. So
So
with that,
because
I
it comes
think
up to
I
the
should-
center.
I should be able to make it.
Yes, I think you should be able to make it there.
Ready? So go into there.
Do mark your token with a 0, that we know that you're at the top of the ceiling there, because you are at the highest most point.
Right. With that angle, would he still be in the magic cone?
From here, no.
Okay.
Where you are at, you are not in the magic cone.
I think I'm gonna take just 2 attacks. And
Okay.
Wait, bonus action sword, right?
I already raged.
Bonus action.
Reckless attack though.
Okay, so you would
but-
even out the disadvantage with an advantage for a normal hit.
21.
21 is enough.
So the flame's not on yet, but 12 damage.
12. All right, yeah, you feel your axe hit meat.
He is ancestral protected, but don't think that's gonna do much. Second attack.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Yeah, you go to strike again and you meet just solid something, and you're and it can't make it through. Like a hide or something thick.
Yeah. That is all I'm gonna do this turn.
All right, at the end of your turn, is going to spend a legendary action to fire a beam at you, War. Okay, War, I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Inspiration.
Definitely my inspiration.
Yeah. Before you go spend that, can you be frightened while raging?
I
From like a magical effect?
think so. Resist. Yes, I can.
You can still be frightened?
Yep.
Okay, then
That's
go
like
ahead. Then go ahead and spend that. Yeah, that's like maybe a different kind of rage. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and spend that, and you may roll it with advantage. Wisdom saving throw.
11.
You are immediately struck with a beam of light, and as the flashing light hits your eyes, you immediately feel terror as it feels as though so many eyes are looking around you. You remember just seconds ago seeing Valfine fall, and you see only the same for yourself, as only danger surrounds you. You are frightened. And you'll be frightened for 1 minute, making saves at the end of that time. Go ahead and make sure to mark that for me so I don't have to plug anything that I don't want to plug. And just remember how many rounds of that you have. It lasts 10 rounds.
Okay.
So with frightened, just to remind you, disadvantage at the target, and you can't move any closer to the target. Disadvantage at attacking it.
Which doesn't matter because it's invisible.
Yeah, doesn't really apply, but the not moving is pretty important. And that was the end of your turn for its action, so Valfine, I'm going to remove you from the list. And it is its turn. Okay. War. You can make an opportunity attack as you feel its presence leaving your vicinity. Disadvantage overall?
I'm going to forego doing that.
You're going to forego
Yeah.
doing that, saving your
Saving my reaction.
Okay.
Or wait.
Hmm?
Never mind, I'm 50 feet up. I gotta do it.
You're 50. Okay. You're making the move.
I'm gonna do the attack.
Okay, make the attack.
I see
Alright.
you're approaching me.
I think reckless attack doesn't count on not my turn, so I still have this.
Are you sure? Maybe.
I trust Jacob to have his own sheet. If that's his call, if he reads it.
Advantage on melee weapon attack rolls using strength during this turn.
So yeah,
Until
during
your
your
next
turn.
It says during
Oh
this.
no, advantage. Their advantage is until next turn.
Okay. 12 is not going to be enough. You meet a hard hide and are able to penetrate it. It's difficult terrain, so that was 10 feet of movement. Leaves another 20 feet of movement. It's right above. Well, you know it's somewhere up there, Alexandria.
Oh,
Jotaro.
yo.
All right.
Come down here and fight me like a real spaghetti meatball.
You all hear a large twang as the no, you don't. Nope. You hear nothing. Don't worry about it. Forget what I said. Okay. Brolin, Whifflespark, and Victor, you all feel the weave disconnect from you.
Yep. The vines disappear too.
Okay, yep, the vines would disappear. That makes sense. So
Depends on if he's looking up, right?
it would be in the
up.
range of it. Like yeah, the vines would dissipate. I think.
So then me too.
Not you, War.
Okay.
But I don't know how. Yeah, I would say you have some connection to the weave because of your magical effect. So yeah, you still feel a connection to that. So moves there, that, and then okay. You see these beams rip their way out of the sky. First one to War. Which is very direct. Okay. Okay. Make a dexterity saving throw for me, War.
Is this targeting only me?
Just you.
Okay. So I'll have advantage from danger sense, and then +2 from shield.
Okay.
Good. Think it should add the +2? Yeah.
Okay. Is that 16 then?
Yes.
You just save. Beam strikes into you, takes no ill effect. There will be a second one towards you, or okay. Get it open. Go to make a Constitution saving throw.
Do I get bonus on these with... I only have advantage on strength checks. Okay. Con save.
I give him my
Oh, that's not a +2, so that's 12.
12.
I use my reaction to give him +5.
+5. Okay. You make the save, War Whiffle Spark interceding in the moment. What is that? That's magical? Whiffle Spark? For the sake of illustration of what's happening? Or is it just you saying something?
It's just me saying something. It's all in being smart.
Yeah, you hear Whiffle Spark just like move slightly to the left or something. I don't know, whatever you think Whiffle Spark says in the moment.
It's literally called Flash of Genius.
Just like move out of the way. Yeah, perfect call out. And
stand only on your left foot.
that beam manages to reflect off of you as well, neither taking purchase. You hear a frustrated voice, a language echoing out.
The last song.
Obviously a frustrated voice of anger through gritted, mawed teeth, and a beam will rip its way down straight towards Alexandria.
I want to hear what he says.
Oh, do you know what, do you know?
Comprehend languages is still up.
Oh, didn't at one point you get, but at any point that you got hit with the,
Beam.
with the beam, it would go, right? Yeah.
It's not concentration. So
It's magical effects, though, right? Is it
It's a
technically
magical effect, so a magical effect would dissipate. And it's not
wow.
concentration. Would it return? What do you guys think?
Stupid meatball.
Do you think because it's not concentration it would return, or do you think it's just?
It's not important.
Yeah.
Just,
I haven't read the actual like ability, so I don't know how it.
There's a
I
lot
mean, if
behind it.
it just lasts for a minute.
It's
I
fine.
mean, if the undead returns.
The undead returns because I made a bad call.
Oh.
That's all.
Ah.
We're
What
just
about it?
we're gonna call it what it is. I think. Which is no. Alexandria, you immediately feel yourself pulled from the wall. Oh wait, no, you don't. Not yet. I have to do the whole thing. What am I talking about? I got ahead of myself. I'm sorry.
By the way, so you could actually understand. I looked up the anti-magic field.
It's just so it's only just it's repressed at the moment and would come back.
Mm-hmm.
I do need to have you make a strength save before any of this silliness happens. So you would hear what he says, which let me actually pull up a thing here.
Sweet, that was a good roll.
Very nice, good save. That beam will have no effect on you. Yeah, you hear his voice. You hear what he said in that moment of frustration.
You fools! You are no match for Virtuals the Unseen's terrible eye rays!
And that's what you hear. And that would be the end of its turn. Let me just make that go back up. And it is Brolin's turn.
That's your
bro.
name. How entirely forgettable.
Can you speak the language too?
No.
Oh, damn it.
If only. I can only comprehend.
You feel a disconnect from the weave, Brolin, by the way. And start your turn, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, also while I'm on this, the Echo Knight pops back into it. Should pop back into existence too. It's a suppressed thing.
It's suppressed. It's not.
I need to hop out for a minute. BRB.
You
If
are
it's
still
like the
standing.
spell.
Ed, can I whisper something to you really quick?
Yeah, sure. But whisper me on Roll20 because I don't want to open up Discord and mess with my cameras.
No, I know. Let me. How do I
Slash
send this as a
WGM / W space GM,
slash W space GM? Okay.
and then you can type whatever you need
Alright.
after.
Ed, can I get a call on that with the Echo Knight thing?
Flip a coin, or you can make a roll. If you want my exact call,
It's
was
just
it something you
like
had to
whether-
add?
I have to summon the thing, and it's a magical effect that's
from the
there.
anti-magic field.
I'll make the creatures and objects. A creature or object summoned or created by magic temporarily winks out of existence in the sphere, such as a creature instantly reappearing once the space the creature is occupied is no longer within the sphere. Sure, you can. It can
Okay.
be back.
Okay, because it acts as a magical object, so
Yeah,
that kind
yeah.
of makes
Brolin's monkeys disappeared because he lost concentration, not because they were
right.
there. So
If that's the case, move them 30 feet.
okay, I'm waiting on a message from.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
I
typing
just
out.
happen to be reading through everything for the anti-magic field
All
to
good.
look up other things.
All good.
Suck if your enchantments on your weapons just disappeared as it came in contact. So
Yeah, not
surprise
forever.
next time.
It does some funny things with Fireball too, because it just cuts off Fireball at the line.
That having been the case, I can move him 30 feet as a free thing during my turn. Could I have done that?
If you would like. What would you like to do, Ron?
He was not there.
Brolin is Brolin is not doing too good. He's pretty furious. Brolin's like, "Oh, you're gonna get it. Oh, it's gonna be good." And Brolin will
Let me whisper one thing to you that is worth
Oh.
noting. Because now that I'm thinking of it. That may be relevant to you. It's worthwhile to know that information,
okay.
but go ahead with what you'd like to try.
That does change what I was going to do.
Okay?
He doesn't seem to want to go anywhere near the floor, unfortunately.
Does not seem so.
No, he is a. Yeah, Brolin is going to run under him again.
Okay. Yep, you feel the connection to the weave return as you run under him.
So I have trace, search your flying sphere, find traps. That's interesting. Really? Let me look at the spell, please. Sorry, sir.
Yep. Wiffle Spark, you're on deck.
Yep.
So be prepared with what you'd like to do. And if you need to delay your turn at all, Dustin, let me know. But I'll give you like a minute or two.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Wind wall doesn't blow anybody away, right?
Read the spell.
It just stops projectiles and
Yeah.
does damage right when it's up.
Yeah.
Well, Gus.
Or ask the party because they might know. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
That was one
Yeah,
of
do
the
that.
things I knew on a different character.
Okay, yeah. Here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to, in an attempt to get him down from the ceiling, I am going to cast Gust of Wind.
Okay. Let me see that spell. Toss it up in my direction.
Though I can't.
So that I may read it.
Trying to. I thought I had it. Level
Hey,
2.
your list is yours. Yeah, if it's not on the list, we'll have to pick something different. We got to keep it moving.
No, I got it. There you go. All right.
Okay. Yeah, a line of strong wind 60 feet, 10 feet wide, blasting direction you choose. You got the distance. Each creature starts to turn. So pushed 15 feet away from you in a direction following the line. Any creature in the line must spend 2 feet of movement for every 1 feet. Yep. The gust disperses gas and vapor.
Never mind. It's from me. Shit, I thought I could make it at a point.
Yeah, it comes from you. It's a line from self.
Yeah, that's fine. Shit. Whatever. All right. I don't have jump prepared. All right, I am going to entangle him again.
Okay. Casting entanglement up at the top of the ceiling, we see more vines rip their way up.
I said get down here!
Yeah, toss that spell at me again. Cool. Restrained. So it needs to make a saving throw. And it is strength based, right? Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. 3.
Ooh,
it
it
will
is restrained.
fail. It is restrained. Can somebody get the restrain condition in the chat for me? And anything attached to it?
Sure.
I appreciate it, gentlemen.
I got it. I'll paste here. Cool. Kyle's got it. Yep.
Too late.
Speed becomes 0. Cannot benefit from any bonus to speed. Attack rolls against them have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. The creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. Now, if this creature was flying, was not hovering, which it is, it would fall out of the sky, but it is hovering, so it will keep its height. And I did have to go into Xanathars for this fight to confirm that is the case, and that is the case.
Okay.
But restrained is huge. You rip your way up there with those vines, and they completely strap their way around the invisible creature. It's still invisible, but that effect is kind of nullified because it is held in place. So that advantage disadvantage situation is normal at the moment, which is huge. So let me get restrained down. I believe that's the one with the foot. The bolt through the foot. Yeah. Yep.
Brolin is going to go invisible as a free action.
Okay. As a free action, you go invisible. Go ahead and spend your use of that. However it works. I don't know how it works.
I can cast invisibility at will.
No action associated to it.
Let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure.
If you still have to cast it, it's still going to be the same time, right?
Yeah. Check your handout.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
It's an action.
Yeah, it's just I can keep doing it. And
You can. Yeah. So that wouldn't be possible this turn, but next turn it would be.
Okay.
I'll take away the invisibility marker on your token. There we go. But you still do have a bonus action available to you, beast shape or movement, as you haven't used any movement this turn yet. And you did save at the beginning of your turn.
Well, the thing is, if he's at the tip top of the ceiling, what I want to do wouldn't work.
Okay, just staying where you are then.
Well, how far away is he from the orb?
From the orb is 20 feet down. Or 20 feet off the floor, and he's 50 feet off the floor. So between them is about, let me see, 20, so there's 30, so about 20 feet away from it.
Okay. Could, hypothetically
25
speaking,
feet.
hypothetically speaking, could a large creature suddenly appear on that sphere and not fall off that sphere?
it definitely can appear. Whether or not it falls is a condition
Also, we don't want
of
to uncover the sphere.
of that. The sphere is already uncovered. It uncovered at the beginning of the fight. It was a factor of the fight.
Hypothetically speaking,
It has
if a
not
huge-
come into play yet of affecting anyone.
If a huge creature were to say, beyond, instantly start teetering on it,
You can
and then
certainly try.
make an attack.
That's everything on your turn, Brolin?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
move closer to Alexandria.
Okay. Start prepping your next turn.
Okay, sorry, that
all
went
good.
too long. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Wiffle Spark. It is your turn, but at the end of Brolin's turn, it's going to use a legendary action. Just before you go to fire
You're in the wrong
down
spot. Why are you moving there?
at,
Spark actually yelled at you to move.
at Brolin. Yeah, if Brolin needs to be somewhere else,
Yeah.
definitely move somewhere else.
Anywhere but
Oh.
right there.
Okay, what about here?
That's fine.
Okay.
All right, Brolin, make a dexterity saving throw as a slowing ray rips its way down towards you.
Come on, Brolin. Do it for Valfine.
You fail. You are slowed, so take note of the slow conditions for your next turn so that you know how those will work. Let me see what's good for slow. This one. Your speed is halved during the duration. In addition, you cannot take reactions, and you can only take one action or a bonus action. Action or a bonus action in your turn, not both. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns. So note for your next turn that it will be limited. You immediately feel this beam hit you, and everything slows down.
Okay.
Wiffle Spark, it is now your turn.
Alright. I will make my dex save so I can move.
Yep. You are good. You keep your footing.
I am cutting straight across
Okay, yeah, where are you going?
to here.
All right, you feel the weave reconnect.
And I am casting this on Alexandria.
Okay. Excellent. There's no concentration. Spell wards a willing creature you touch and creates a mystical connection between the target, you and the target until it ends. While the target's within 60 feet of you, which you would be at any point in this room, it gains a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws and has resistance to all damage. Also, each time it takes damage, you take the same amount of damage.
Yeah, I'm just dealing half the damage
Yeah.
from Alexandria.
So yeah, each
Because
time
I'm being a damage sponge.
it says you take the same exact amount of damage. Does it say
Yeah.
half?
So they get resistance. So
Oh, the resistance. That's
it
how
gets
that works.
resisted,
Okay.
And then they
So
both
you
take-
also get resistance?
No, it's I take whatever damage Alexandria takes.
which
so
is
if
the
Alexandria takes
resistance.
30 damage, there'd be resistance down to 15, and that would take the same thing she did. So
Sure.
15.
I'm not gonna try to read through the whole thing. I
Very
trust.
roundabout way of saying split the damage between.
it really
Totally
is,
is.
but it's phrased that way specifically for.
All right. So yeah, what's that spell look like with Spark as you cast it on Alexander? Is it just like a tether between you two, or like what is the cosmetic look of this? Or is it as simple as just touching her?
No, it's like a spidery like contraption that is attaches to her chest and attaches like a four-way, and then one gets put on my chest too.
So yeah, you immediately have this device on you. It doesn't have to be a willing creature. So Wiffle Spark holds this out. Alexandria, you just let it happen?
I like to imagine that she's still looking at the thing and she just feels it clasp around her chest. She looks down with a confused look, sees Wiffle Spark sitting there, giving her a thumbs up with a big old Professor Dorky smile on his face. Like, okay,
Okay, and then
I'm not gonna say no.
Okay, that's your action. That's a good amount of your movement, I think. 5,
all
10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, okay. That's all your movement.
That's why I made Roland move.
Okay. Okay.
Then I'm gonna dex save on Little Boy, who moves it just fine.
It moves just fine.
He is going to go over to here and help action the skeleton.
Okay. Yep. Excellent. You will be aiding the skeleton as a companion or summons party over here is going to be doing their own thing. I love it. That's everything on his turn. Alexandria, it is your turn. This contraption has just been attached to you. You feel magical energy coming from it, a connection to Whiffle Spark of protection. What would you like to do with your turn? And the weave is still with you.
I would love to know what his height is right now. Is it still 50 feet up?
It is still 50 feet up, but technically, if you're running the exact distance that he is, because it's 10 squares, you occupy 1, he occupies 3, there's 7 between you, he's 8 squares away, that's 40 feet.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Range wasn't really a concern, just
Okay.
spacing, because
Yep.
I'm going to cast Ice Storm.
Okay.
So it's a 40-foot high cylinder. I'm going to have it come down from the top of the roof.
40-foot high cylinder coming down from the top of the roof. Okay.
Yeah, centered on a point within range. So essentially, this ice is going to just come exploding out of the roof and magically disappearing right above everybody's heads.
Disappearing right above everybody's heads? What do you mean?
Because the effect only takes place within a 40-foot cylinder.
Oh,
so
yeah. Absolutely. What is the size?
20-foot radius.
20-foot radius.
40-foot high cylinder.
It will be hard to fit it with a 20 because you where it has to cast has to be at the point. So I want to know the statistics of like where it's going. I fear for war.
It's easy enough to avoid everyone.
It's centered on a point within range. So if I make the center point the ceiling, it will go 20 feet down, which will hit him.
My problem is war's on the ceiling. Is the only thing.
As long as
We
she
can
does
put it
like
over
this.
here.
Yeah. Actually, no. Yeah, that is a
20
point
foot.
that would work.
Wait, 20-foot radius. You'd have to do directly above your head, because that would still hit me. Never mind. It doesn't matter. I'm getting hit, unless.
Yeah, because it's a dome situation too. So I'm kind of like, well, I'm wondering like at what point.
Well, if I put the point 2 squares right of Brolin, it should be fine.
2 squares right of Brolin.
Yeah,
There's no so the point has to be a point on the grid, like an actual intersection on the grid, not a square itself. So the point on the grid is where it is. Here would be possible, but the only problem is it's not a conal room. So right there, the ceiling goes up very, very soon because it's a dome shape. Basically, there's a lot of mathematics involved, and if we would like to avoid that, what would you say to just rolling an Arcana check to see if you can not have to affect war here? And we'll say, depending on a DC that I'll set, it will affect war. It will be impossible not to affect war, or it will be possible to avoid it. How's that sound?
I don't want to risk hitting war, so I'm just going to use a different spell.
Okay. If we don't want to roll on it, that's fine.
All right. We've had this discussion before, and I don't remember how it ended. So, targets for Scorching Ray.
Yes.
It, unlike all the other spells, doesn't say that I see.
Yeah. If it doesn't, then you can target it.
All right. Yeah, because technically he is a target within range.
Absolutely, he's a target within range, and if it doesn't say you need to see, and that's not a condition, fire away.
Okay, cool.
That is
Can attack normally.
Literally fire away.
He is restrained, so you would have a normal attack, I believe, unless you're getting any kind of advantage right now.
Well, it doesn't matter. If there's an advantage and disadvantage, it's always normal.
Yeah, right. It doesn't matter. They don't double up. That was always a thing I did wrong. Okay, so it's just going to be normal.
Awesome. So I come over here.
What level?
I'm gonna cast it at 4th level.
Okay. Did we do your dex save if you fell or not? I don't think we did, because I see a dexterity save on here, but I think it belongs to Whiffle Spark. So give me a dex save first. You do fall prone.
I get back.
You use 15 feet of movement to get back up. You steady yourself. The slippery floor is ever present, and you ready the spell.
Excellent. So, can we cast this at 4th level, which means
An extra beam, right?
2 extra beams.
2 extra beams. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's 2nd level spell all the way up, so it'll be 5 beams. Alright. The first one will be unable to penetrate. The second one will be able to penetrate. Go ahead and give me damage for that.
Oh, okay. Does it add additional damage per level, or no, just shots? Cool.
5. Alright.
Neat. Alright, here we go again.
Okay. 2 rays. That one will not be able to penetrate. It does not hit.
Alright, and
Your wand included in your scorching ray?
Is it?
it should be.
Let me look over and see if you have a +1. I don't see a +1 bonus on the roll here. I just see a 3 and a 4.
Okay, then it should be a 18. Rather
That
than a
hits.
7.
That is its armor class.
Okay, so then roll.
Ooh.
Very
so
nice.
That's 3 total. So these are
3
the
total?
extra rays now.
These are the extra rays. That will not penetrate. 16 won't quite make it. 18, 19 will. 3 rays manage to make their way through, each one tearing into the restrained creature.
All right. Yeah, that should be all of them.
Okay,
Is
yeah,
that-
5 rays.
And an extra 3 damage to that, so the same thing. So 27.
Extra 3?
Because it's +1 from.
Ah, you're right, extra 3. Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. At the end of... is that the end of your turn?
I'm going to yell at the skeleton to attack again, and
Okay.
that will
It has
be
advantage, so it's at normal because Fenrir is helping it target.
So it's at normal.
It's restrained right now, right?
Yeah, they don't
Oh, it is
stack.
restrained.
There's the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
the disadvantage, advantage. It's always normal. So no matter how
Right.
many of each side, so it's a normal hit.
Forgot about the restraint.
That makes it.
Hey, that makes it. I will roll.
Javelin.
It is a javelin.
It's a D6 plus its dex.
Yeah.
1d6. You can use strength instead for javelins.
Really, even at range? I believe all range,
Uh,
from my knowledge, is always dexterity based.
I
think
think it's a
look-
3/5
I did
thing.
look this.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
Because I think javelins it does have the ability to be melee strength.
right. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter.
Okay,
I will look anyways.
worth knowing. Woo! Yeah, it will toss all its might with the help of Fenrir to plunk a spear right into its body. Bone spear.
Oh, you can do it for thrown.
You can do strength?
It would be strength all the time.
That's
too,
awesome. Okay,
for thrown stuff.
Fuck yeah.
Including attack roll.
I will
Oh,
remember
good. I was right then. Sweet. That actually changes a bit.
that. More damage?
Not for him. No.
Okay, so same amount of damage?
Yep.
Okie dokie. And that would be the end of your turn?
Aye.
Okay. The end of your turn is going to spend a legendary action to this situation. War and Victor are coming at him, so he'll War.
Mhm.
I'm gonna. There's a beam that is firing in your direction. Okay. Go ahead and make a. Oh, don't even bother. Don't even bother. It is the same effect you already have on you. You are hit with yet more fear. And whether you save or not, it's the same situation that you are currently in. So I don't think that is going to change.
Cool. Appreciate that.
That is actually a good one for you to get.
just as a heads up, he can target my Echo as well.
Okay.
But
In that moment, he's targeting you.
Yet, so yeah.
Okay. It is Victor's turn.
Deck save.
Warrior on
To
deck.
move. I fail.
Okay. You would have to expend 15 feet of movement to stand
So
up.
I'll stand back up.
Okay, you have 15 feet left. There's no connection to the weave here, Victor.
She's gonna lay there as he sets her down. 5, 10, 15.
That would be your max. You immediately feel the connection come back.
I'm going to look at the thing, and I don't need. I already checked. I don't need to be able to see it.
Okay.
I want to cast. Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. So, can I dispel magic, the invisibility on this thing?
You can certainly try.
I'm going to cast it at 4th level.
Okay. Go ahead and post it for me. For each spell level 4th or higher, for each spell level of 4th or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcast ability. The DC equals. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. What does this look like? So the way I've themed Victor's spells so far are these like chords and stuff. Like he pulls on the chords of the weave, and I think your last spell was themed in that same way. But I want to give you agency to theme these however you want. What does this dispel magic look like? And as you attempt it, and then go ahead and make the save.
He's going to reach up and kind of hold his hand out and turn it. You can kind of see the threads maybe spin.
Ooh.
And you get a glimpse of the thing as it's like glitching, sort of the visuals on it are kind of, they're starting to like tear apart as he's pulling at the invisibility effect. And then I assume intelligence check.
That is an intelligence. It's using your intelligence modifier, so it's just an intelligence roll. Straight roll.
22.
Wow. Yeah, you reach out towards the spell and you feel powerful, powerful magic behind it at a level that is so advanced and very beyond what you have experienced before. But as you grab at the strings, you see frailty and weakness. This spell has lingered too long on this creature, and you can, if you wish, shatter the effect.
So as he's holding it, and he's going to use his other hand, and he's going to rip the veil away.
Yeah.
Tear away the veil.
You tear. It changed. I clicked it too fast. You tear away the veil, and as you do, and we see this creature in its entirety. It's the standard beholder picture, unless you guys want me to throw. I'll throw it up there just for fun, just so that we can see the handout of our enemy. Let's get it out there. Here we go. All right. Hopefully everybody sees that. And the minute that happens and it tears away, you hear it call out. Just a horrible cry.
Armageddon and Doomsday just had a baby, and it is ugly.
Yeah, this thing is fucked up. We see its full form, its scaly hide, its multiple tendrilled eyes ripping off of its alien form. The major central eye, which is also currently looking down into the bottom half of the room. I'll turn this off, and also get rid of this little fade I had on it as well. That's his action. Is there anything else Victor would like to do?
He's just going to say, "Time to show yourself, you coward," and end his turn.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right. At the end of your turn, it's going to use its last legendary action to strike at you. with a ray. Last legendary action of the round.
I really like the legendary action concept.
What'd you say?
I like the legendary action.
I think it makes a good boss mechanic. The I would look up the mythic mechanics in the Greek book, the Tharos. Those are really cool. Check out the mythical mechanics if you haven't already for extra big bosses. Okay, it's a death ray. We see that similar gray beam come down at you in absolute anger and frustration. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Anybody want to give him inspiration?
I already used it.
Everyone's burned it except.
Alexandria, you used yours?
Yeah, early on.
Oh,
Early.
okay, let me just steal it from you.
When he
The
did
only one
of
that's left
the,
is mine.
Okay, deck save.
Okay.
Ouch.
Failure. So, you see this ray come down. It strikes into you and immediately impacts Victor. So there's a thing about Victor that you may not know that I need to confirm or deny whether or not it has already happened or not. Because he would not take all that damage considering what he might have on him. So I'm actually having trouble loading your character sheet, so you may need to go into the features for me. He is a focuser in the Abjure Arcane. And because of that, when he casts spells, I believe, of that kind, he gets a shield every time. About, I think...
Cast an abjure, first spell or higher, you summon it.
Have you cast any Abjure in this fight? So Abjuration in this fight so far. So you can see spell types.
Dispel magic.
Was Dispel Magic. It'll say
Well, magic
in...
is abjuration
Yes,
spell.
yes, it is abjuration.
So, if you look at it, the number of that ability, if you would read out for me, I think it's your
Hit point max equal to twice your wizard level plus int.
Can you put in chat for me really quick? Just click the little bubble.
Yeah.
I literally made an abjuration wizard today, so I
Yep.
just
So the
looked
ward has a hit point maximum equal to twice your wizard level plus your intelligence modifier. So your wizard level is 9 up to an 18, and your modifier I know is 5. So you should be able to absorb 23 points of that damage.
Okay.
Taking only 21 points. So we would immediately see it ripple across his form, a shield of magic that would shatter just after. Unless you want to flavor it differently.
No, I like that.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Gonna
Um,
hit that shell shield and
Yep, he absorbs some of the damage. And I believe the way it says, you get one of those every time.
you
I cast abjuration, right? So,
after
Abjuration.
this, you heal twice the level of the spell that you cast to that ward from now on.
How does that work?
The first time you get that shield.
Okay.
Once the shield is broken, or anytime it loses health, you essentially heal the shield when you cast abjuration.
Oh, you continue to heal the shield. I will leave it to you to explain how that works when this turn comes back around. But that was the end of your turn. The strike hits. You absorb some of it. It's not lethal. War, it's your turn.
Josh, that was literally the best. So
The best what?
War's timing.
Oh,
War standing on the ceiling. You hear him just say the first word that he said yet. He says, "Korok," and activates the axe. He mentally commands his echo to move towards the beholder,
okay. But you can see now.
which he can see now. So now, when he does his reckless attacks, he's getting an advantage, right?
Oh, yes. Because it's restrained.
It's entangled too, yeah.
You don't even need to do reckless attack.
Right, but I'm still going to because thematically that's what would be happening.
it's free.
So he's gonna make his 2 attacks.
Why not?
14.
It's very realistic.
Plus 7.
14.
14 will not penetrate.
Okay. Second hit.
Yeah,
That will definitely penetrate.
Oh no!
Yo. Fuck.
Smack.
Yes.
Okay.
33.
33. Whoo! Okay. Wow.
I'm using an Unleash Incarnation. So he gets to make one extra attack.
Okay.
Save. And that happens whenever I take the attack action. 24 to hit.
That hits.
18 damage.
Yeah. It's not looking good. It's definitely taking some wear.
Action surge.
Okay. Action surge.
Somebody stop him!
Or
That hits.
18 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Oh.
So the flame bursting around War kind of funnels its way into that echo, and you see that War's kind of striking from his position, but the physical force is coming from the echo. And he's gonna make a few strikes on it. You'll see another burst of that energy, and he'll do an overhead strike and just send it straight to the ground.
Yeah. Just and it immediately is smote to the ground. Brolin and Whifflespark make a quick dexterity save.
I think it would be cooler if it was hanging from the vines, but
Hanging from the vines. Yeah, I actually like that. Never mind.
Go for it.
Yeah, it strikes and it rips away at some of the vines, and it's just hanging there from the ceiling. Slain. We see the light in its eye begin to go out. We hear its grumbling words. Its final breath, and the eyes sink on all sides. Alexandra, you understand? You still have comprehend language?
If it's still within a minute.
Okay. Yeah. You would hear his final words.
This was not what was promised.
Yeah.
I vote we leave all of these coins here until we're done with the dungeon, and then come back for them so this purple goo can dissolve.
So the creature is slain. You said you wanted to come back to Valfine after the fight. Yes, Josh?
Yeah.
All right. So you lost your life in this fight. But in your final moments, they are yours to have. We can flash back to the moment of your death, as it was only mere seconds ago. And however you want to illustrate this, it is free for you to do.
I think as she was hit by the death ray, and before the color completely faded, she would, because Brolin was right next to her, she would bring her arm up around his neck and kind of try to brace against the pain for a moment. And then looking over Brolin's shoulder, does she see Victor at the mouth of the door?
You tell me.
I assume, yeah. I think she'd kind of reach over Brolin's shoulder for Victor. And she starts to say something, but there's no pressure behind the breath in her lungs, and she kind of uses the last bit of her strength to hold on to maybe some of Roland's clothing and just gonna look at him, and the light will fade from her eyes as she does that, and the strength in her fingers is gone.
Okay. As our party is victorious, though a bittersweet victory as it is, I want to come back to the scene in this room. As Valfine's eyes close, so does the fade of the camera. It darkens. And we see it begin to color its way back in. We see a tunnel before us. It is dark and winding, and swirling its way around this dark and winding tunnel, we see a string. It is green, and it winds its way around the path, framing it floor to ceiling. On that string, we see words, not of any language, but of just a universal, understood symbol on each. And we see you, Valfine, we see you walking down this path alone into the darkness, and you see that winding string, and you know what those symbols mean. You see the souls of thousands around you, tens of thousands, as they weave around your form and walk the same path that you do. So you are not entirely alone. As you make it towards the end of that path, you hear a voice echo back. A woman's voice. One that you recall way back from when you were in Port Nyanzaru. It was a nicer day, the day that you were with Alexandria shopping in the market district. You recall the voice of the shopkeep that day, the one that you gave your hair to in exchange for something else. You know, it doesn't have to be that way. I could help you turn around. You turn and see that shopkeep just as they were. Another chance, perhaps?
Does Valfine have her bow?
You tell me.
I would think some kind of manifestation of her weapon.
Okay.
And she'd look at the tether between them. And she would, without saying a word, draw her bow and aim for the shopkeep.
All right. Just holding it.
Right.
Strong of soul, this one. Well, in the end, it is your choice. If you wish to go, then you may. We will find other uses. Just know, before you turn, they will perish without you.
She looses the arrow.
Fires at the image, and you let it loose, down the hall, and the hall fades to darkness. There is only one path before you now, Belfing.
I'll turn and breathe a deep sigh of relief and continue walking.
Okay. You continue walking down, and as you do, our camera fades out on Velfing. And our scene changes. We come back to the chamber that we were previously. The beholder is slain and hanging from the ceiling. What is everyone doing?
Brolin is probably rushed to Valfine's side.
Victor's already there.
Alexandria is staring across the room, but she's shaking in anger and just intense resentment. And she can't move. She's paralyzed by it.
Okay. What of the others? I have a thing for Victor.
Wifflespark is looking at the beholder just as and also at the slime.
Okay.
This is not his first companion death.
Understood. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me then, Wifflespark, as you stomach the change that you are ever so used to in your travels and push on towards matters of your own survival. However abrupt. Very good. I'll have information for you. What are you looking for?
He's checking to see if the slime is receding at all yet.
It is.
And okay.
It is. And it is a dead beholder. Nothing extra attached. No trappings. Just the beast itself. What of war?
For the following minute of his rage, he is back in a state we haven't seen since really the start of the campaign almost. He is relentlessly attacking this thing's corpse.
Yeah.
And he's bouncing back and forth between his echo and himself. Both of them striking this until his rage finally wears off.
Yeah.
And then he would walk to the edge, walk down, or I guess he'd go the other way, down to Valfane, and just look. I'm imagining by that time Victor and them have already
Yeah.
got.
Wifflespark pushing it away, Alexandria frozen in the moment. Brolin wore after quite a rage of just destroying this thing, and Victor seeing to Valfine's lifeless body. I have a scene for Victor, but as we discussed previously, I have to do some talking with Josh to get him up to date. But I do have a question. Do you want to play Victor or would you like to play a new character and have Victor continue as an NPC follower?
Take Victor.
Okay. We have a lot of talking to do outside of the game.
So I'll let
of-
you finish
to catch
the
you up.
session as
Yeah.
him. That's fine.
I will act as Victor here, at least roleplay wise for this moment specifically. Brolin, you're holding her.
Yeah, you think Brolin would be sobbing, and he's crying. But unlike, I guess he's never seen any of his companions die yet, except with the dragon, the fight with Tinder's child. But I think this is a look of determination on his face, because in his mind, he now has the power to bring someone back from the dead. In his mind, he can still fix this. And
Yeah.
he looks to Victor and War, and he goes, "If we could," pulls back tears. If we could stop the death curse, I have the power to bring her back. She might not look 100% like Valfine, but we'll have her soul. But I don't think we have much time.
Victor would turn to you, Brolin, when you say that, and he would just sort of speak under his breath. Of course. If we stop the death curse, she can be brought back.
She can.
And he just sort of breathes.
This isn't a total loss. We can bring her back.
Oh, sure, we'll bring her back. Just like we'll bring back all the other people.
It's not like it this time, Alexandria. It's not like with the others. I'm stronger now. I have the power to bring someone back from the dead. We just need to break the death curse.
Yeah? Do you have the power to bring a soul back from whatever's been eating them?
We have to stop the death curse before... Maybe her soul is still in... Can't instantly be destroyed. We don't know that. If we hurry, we can still save her. I'll expend any gold I have, any resource. Doesn't take that much, believe it or not.
We will do what we can. I will fund it if the time comes. But there is something more important that I have to do. May I see her? And he holds out his hands.
He looks almost... Because he's like cradling her in his arms, and he's almost like, what? She's dead.
Please.
I looked... In a moment that would probably surprise her, he would look to Alexandria when he says that.
She looks to Victor and she shrugs slowly.
There is more going on here than I think any of you know. Please.
Just don't do anything horrible to her.
He looks to you with a look in his face of just like a somber, like, shock. Never.
He hands her.
He takes her and looks her dead in the eyes, and you see him look down. He says, I am so sorry. though those words mean nothing. I must take back from you what I gave you so long ago. I can finally relieve your burden. And he sort of embraces her in the moment and puts his hands on her back. And you see him concentrate. And as he does, you can see pieces of the weave burn away from his fingertips on her back, a sort of whitish blue light. And he immediately exhales as he lifts his hand from her back. And you see floating before you in his palm a thin shard of blue light. And he just holds it up. And his hands are sort of shaking. All of you make a perception check for me. Anyone who thinks they're watching this moment. Okay. Those who are close can definitely see quite a bit here. And Whifflespark, you have a trained eye. To Alexandria, it is what I've described, a blue shard. But to those close by, you can see inside of it and hear and almost feel a very intense environment almost coming down on you. You feel the ocean, not just the ocean or the sea of this plane, but of more. An intense power. And he holds it up. I will be able to contain this for a few days. Nothing more. But we will be safe. And he closes his fist and it dissipates. And he closes his eyes and once again lets out an exhale.
What the hell was that?
Expend all the spell slots on Victor for me, please. He says, there's a lot I have not been telling you. Perhaps it is time for you to know. And I think that's a good place for us to end the session, guys. What do you think?
I'm fine with it.
Give me time to talk to Josh. All right. We're going to call the session there for the evening. In this moment, as Victor has done something unexpected, we will come back and find out the conclusion of your time here in the third level of the tomb, and where will we be going next? All right, good game, gentlemen. We will call it there. Thank you all for joining me this evening for Dungeons and Dragons. Josh, thank you for being such a good sport about the process in Dungeons and Dragons. The death of a character is never a fun experience, but I think you did an excellent job illustrating her final moments. And thank you to everyone else who contributed to that scene to make it special. And for just coming this evening to play Dungeons and Dragons. I appreciate it, guys. That is everything. Thank you to those watching over on YouTube. We will catch you next time for more Dungeons and Dragons later in the month. Take care. Bye.
Bye.